Well, hello everyone. We were having a couple electronic problems with YouTube. It does happen. So we had to start another stream. Sorry about that. So I will just sit here and wait until everybody finds the new stream. Sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties today. My apologies. Oh my gosh, it was one of those days. I fell asleep. I fell asleep, woke, I had a nap. I sometimes will have a nap. And then I said, I got to get up. I have a show to do at 5. And that was the last thing I remember. And then it was 10 minutes after 5. And then I run to go online, but I was logged out. So when I went to go live, it wouldn't let me because I had to log in. So then I had to start all over again. Happy Arraignment Day, everyone. Grab your tacos. Grab your margaritas. I should have put my hat on. Now we get to predict when the feds are going to go back in and take the. Has that happened yet? Wonder if it'll even go to the press. If yes, happy Arraignment Day. Where we get to throw around bets. How long is it going to take for them to get the search warrants now that he's officially a charged suspect? It's very exciting. It's an exciting, what would they call that? I don't know what they would call it. An exciting day for America. We get to officially indict a president, which I'm sure John Adams would be very proud of us. We did not let him become a tyrant. Granted, our democracy is on a shoestring, thin, but it appears to be prevailing. Looks like Marvel Johnson is having a Subway salad to celebrate. It's kind of a taco. So the Subway salad, did you get yourself one of those Italian Subway salads? Because the Italian is the best. Italian meats, where they put olive oil and vinegar on the. It's very tasty. Sometimes you just want a good sandwich. You know what I'm saying? But you're being all responsible. You didn't do the bread, right? Oh, added oregano. Yummy, yum, yum. Yeah. But what are those Italian meats? Thank God those are delicious. If calories were not a problem, unfortunately, the older we get, the more we have to be aware of calories. Anyway, he was not able to talk to witnesses. Why do you say that, Kathy? Why do you think he'll never serve a day in jail? 300 and or 5, how many charges? 536 charges? Is that what it was? 537 years, something like 36 years? I don't know. So I think, oh, did you see him walking? That was Eric Trump with him, right? So that was interesting to me that when he was walking towards, when they saw him walking to the right was Eric Trump, because I had a hard time getting in a day or two prior to him being indicted, but I was pretty sure that they had. I was pretty sure when I went into the field that what I had picked up was that he could not leave, and that he was going to be invited the next day, and I also got that he and Eric were closer. But for whatever reason, I don't know if he's close to Junior. Something may have happened about, but for Eric is the one that's really um, having to step in. Yeah. Oh, Celtic Tarot is having a live at the same time. Uh, he can't travel anywhere. No. He's on a no-fly list. Yeah. He had to surrender everything anyway, but prior to him being able to surrender, he was told he couldn't leave the country. Yeah. But now he definitely can't. Oh, there's a special with Rachel now or in an hour? Oh, it's Sheila's birthday? Oh, wish her happy birthday for me. All right, let's do the empath's prayer. And then whenever you're ready, we can blitz, blitz, blitz away, have some tacos or whatever you guys like. I think I have coffee here somewhere. Yes, I have coffee. All right, let's do the empath's prayer together. Oh, hi, Debbie. Everybody give a shout out to Debbie Brady. She's the merch person. Whatever you want in merch, she's your person. I would like the empath's prayer on a coffee mug. All of that stuff, Debbie's the person to speak to. Yeah, thank you, Debbie. Okay, let's do the prayer. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Oh, oh, the other Tuesday, yeah, we had a problem. I had to stop it and do another one. Oh, you're ready already with the merch? Boy, you're fast, Debbie. All right, we got the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away. So, if you have any questions, the red question marks are helping tremendously. Looks like Felicia Michaels is in Vegas. Hello, Felicia Michaels. Glad to have you here. Hopefully, the weather's treating you okay over there and you're not getting taken off by any aliens. Uh, uh, oh, you watched David Garcia drank already. He watched Black and Orange Tarot. She got cut off by Utah after 2 hours. Do they do that? I've never gone on for 2 hours. Um, all right. So TR wants to know I don't understand about Trump not being able to talk to the witnesses even though they work for him. You can't manipulate a witness. If somebody's been subpoenaed and you're attempting to threaten a witness, particularly if the witness is speaking against you, if he's gotten in trouble before for witness intimidation. So something's itching my neck. Something's back. I have to cut the label. You ever get that where a label just starts irritating your neck? Anyway, Yeah. So I think that may be part of why he's not allowed to talk to witnesses. Secret documents. Here's what it felt to me like he and Rudy Giuliani had been involved in a lot of really creepy stuff, him and Giuliani. And one time I did a remote view where it I swear it looked like Trump was a Russian asset. It looked like it almost looked like the guy was a true believer. But there was film footage taken. Tawny pointed this out, my friend Tawny. She had seen film footage of Rudy Giuliani from 2004. 2004, Rudy Giuliani I don't know who he was with, if he was with being interviewed by Rachel Maddow or who it was, where he was praising Putin and how basically that Putin is this how amazing Putin is. So as early as 2004, there's some evidence that Giuliani was compromised or had something to do with Russia. So there was all this money after the collapse, so all these corrupt people got involved. And let's find out if we can find out any reasons why he took the documents. Sometimes it's just hoarding, right? He hoards things. He like a little kid. That might have been part of it. But he was taking documents from the moment he went into the White House. So that could be partially hoarding. But more could be going on. Let's find out. He wanted to keep the documents for future business purposes. It was for business reasons. It had to do with business contacts and also how it not so much weaponized, but monetized. He made a business of selling secrets. His opposition mastery. The hope and fears. He has this aspect that keeps coming up where Trump appears not just compromised and a true believer, but also to some extent trapped. Whether it's financial, there's certainly a financial and economic incentive, but also he doesn't appear to be entirely able to get out of it. I mean, I think somebody said that he owes a lot of money to Russia. He owes a lot of money to a lot of people. Sun coming out over him. He's heartbroken over his business. His business is in serious trouble. Russia's in serious trouble also due to the war and previous contracts or relationships that they had with business persons when times were better, 80s and 90s, have kind of come to an end because resources are so limited in Russia right now because of the war. So that's just some interesting information that came up. You can see he's heartbroken. They really tore his business apart. So he sees himself as a victim where his business dealings have been torn apart. The Russians were nice to me. They were so friendly. It was great. But you can see here that fighting and conflict over. It's just not the same relationship because there's so much instability in Russia. Foolish behavior or foolish contracts. He may have loaned more than he possibly could handle. It's like buying more house than you can afford. So he was in too deep. Foolish behavior left him in a foolish behavior and then a devil, addicted or codependency. It's a new beginning that's starting in his relationships. So it looks to me like it was I get that people think it was partially hoarding because he has a history of hoarding, but it also looks like it was partly something to weaponize. if you know that our government is going to have particular policies regarding a particular country, how can that be of financial benefit to me? Yeah. I don't know what I just, it's a very strange energy when you think about it. Um, it's also a sense of entitlement, isn't it? Like, I have the right to do these things. Hi, Wendy. Good to see you. Is there anything in Ivana's coffin that would be incriminating? Let's see if we can get any information about the contents of the coffin. Has he been released yet? Because they had to post a bail, didn't they? They had to have a bond hearing and everything. Let's see what's going on in Ivana's coffin. This almost looks like hiding money or assets in the coffin. It's seen as something of economic importance is in the coffin. Money in the coffin. The sword of truth is around it. The situation is transformed. Strength. Let's find out what that's about. The feds are going to have permission to go into all properties. He thinks that there's such a thing as hallowed ground. Trump does. There's hallowed ground. Like Leonard Cohen, or like Michael Cohen's offices, right? That's hallowed ground. You can't raid someone's lawyer's offices. So we can just go ahead and we can send everything over to Michael Cohen's offices because we think we're going to get raided. And we're so clever, we're just going to take everything and send it all out, all the incriminating evidence over to Michael Cohen's offices for safekeeping. But then we're afraid that it's still out there. So then we call Michael Cohen and we say, destroy all the evidence, right? And then the feds intercept the phone call, right? So we have this kind of energy always repeating itself with these folks, where they're always trying to hide the evidence from the feds. Oh, we'll in a hallowed location. They'll never go into the church, right? We'll hide the terrorist weapons in the church, the mosque, the etc. That used to be a tactic you used to see a lot in the Middle East. People would hide things in a church or a mosque because they would think, oh, the police will never go in there, right? So it could be like Cohen's offices. He thinks there's no way a federal judge would let them open up my ex-wife's coffin. So it's the one place like Cohen's offices they're not going to be able to get into, right? Because we follow the trajectory of the mindset that we're dealing with, right? Whatever this is, it has to do with economics and issues of fairness for him. You know, something that he has money and power. I think that this whole thing, like I said, in the next couple of months, by August, everything is going to be out. I'm surprised the raid didn't happen today. If it isn't happening today, it'll probably happen very soon. He's not wrong. I don't think that Trump is wrong. I mean, the amount of proof that they had to have that that Cohen was going to destroy documents, the proof that they had to have to get a court order to go in and seize paper, right? And we're right back there again. But in this particular case, it's not a lawyer's office, it's somebody's grave. So the answer is yes, something of great value, something that he doesn't want the feds to get a hold of, something that he can use to make large sums of money, appears to have been put in Ivana's casket in order to hide it from the feds because of a belief that it's the one place that the feds will not have permission to look. Is he wrong? I think he's right. Yeah. Okay. Will Mark Meadows face any jail time? I would think yes. I mean, maybe he's not going to spend the rest of his life in prison for being a traitor for January 6th, but you can be sure if there was a conspiracy on January 6th, Mark Meadows would know about it. And if anybody needs to flip, it would be Mark Meadows because he's probably doing as much time as Trump. So let's take a look at Mark Meadows. Pretty sure he flipped, but let's see if we can find out more. It's a fun. Good to see everyone. Yes, I'll probably get off at 6 so I can go watch Rachel Maddow. Mark Meadows. Business. Also the feds. A judgment lay against him. He had access to, because of the nature of his work, he had access to everything. He's already been raided. There was already Mark Meadows has already had. Is it public information that the feds have gone in with him and probably taken his electronics, etc.? I'll show it to you guys. Feds over him. Investigation. You know, his job in the White House, he had access to everything. So if something as meticulous as this was being organized on January 6th, the person who knew all about it, correspondence, the person who it all fielded through his office was Mark Meadows. So there's Mark Meadows at the office pounding away, and there's the feds on top of him. So everything went through him. Everything went through him. He betrayed his boss. Betrayal stabbed him in the heart. Who did he stab in the heart? It's Trump. Air sign male. Gemini. Gets to be even more horrible for Mark Meadows. Look what happened. His involvement. The devil card results in, there you go, police raid. Betrays Trump. A judgment against him and betrayal, resulting from betrayal. Look at that, 10 of Swords, stabbed in the back. They betrayed each other. Judgment. 10 of Wands is also to be stabbed in the back multiple times. Again here, stabbed in the heart. Who? Trump, air sign male. He too will have a judgment against him. It will be a harsh judgment, 10 of Swords. Honestly, with the 10 of Swords outcome, even with him turning on Trump, he's still facing probably life in prison. It's unlikely that Mark Meadows will see the light of day with those cards. Too harsh? 10 of Swords. Too harsh? Was that too harsh an end for him, given what he did? Mine is not to judge. Mine is simply to remote. We should put that on a t-shirt. Mine is not to judge. Mine is to remote. Hi, Marvel Johnson. Thanks for being a member. Good to see you here. Thank you, everyone who has subscribed, by the way. Much appreciated. And thank you, everyone who's become a member. It really helps out the channel. And we do appreciate all the memberships. All right, so let's take a look at the beautiful Marvel Johnson, who is quite the marvel. She would like to know about the whole Secret Service. Well, gosh darn it, wouldn't we all? Don't you think that some of them should be in a jail cell with him? Great, you have to keep him company in the jail cell. Some of you were in on it. This is the perfect place for some of you. Let's take a look. Think about that. That's your job, is to be in jail with somebody 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours, depending on how their shift runs. You know, it would be a really award-winning piece of literature, wouldn't it, to be able to see inside the mind of what it is to be the Secret Service right now. What must it be like to go to work and have to take this guy to the courthouse? Like, what must be going on through your head? It is likened to Old England when the guard, you know, England or another country in Europe, or even a banana republic where the guards that protect the king will be back the next day to drag you to the gallows. That's the imagery. So you look at a revolution, these guards are protecting me, I'm the king. And then the guards turn on the king and they are the ones dragging you out to the hangman. And so you have that kind of conscious awareness that they are Homeland Security, they are police, they are there to do their job, which is to police and secure the country. And so today we protect the president, tomorrow we may be the ones jailing him or prosecuting him. There's an awareness of that. There's a conscious awareness of that. What's it feel like to be the protector who becomes the one raiding, participating in the raid, which is now. We've talked about this energy over Trump, that he is about to be raided because they now have enough evidence that they can go back in and take electronics. So does that have to be coordinated? Yes. The protector becomes the people raiding the person that they had previously protected. So they become, in a sense, participants. Could be moving very quickly, quick night. Hopes and fears. He's a pack rat. He's a pack rat. And so there's also an awareness that when they go in, they have to go in teams. So just like if you were like cleaning up a hoarder's house, you ever watch Hoarders? Where we've got a team and we've got to get this done in 3 days. Well, it's almost like when you go into the mindset of the FBI regarding Trump, you have a similar mindset. Okay, this guy's a pack rat. We've got so many electronics. The judge has given us a such and such window to go in and take ABC. We have to do it in such and such teams, blah, blah. That's really what it looks like. So you have this issue of the pack rat. It's not just boxes, it's you name it. There is a ton of stuff to go through. And if you have a limited amount of time with which a window where a judge will allow you to go in and start taking stuff, and you've got a defendant that's not compliant and you've got to go through that, that's going to be a challenge. And so it's not just that they're going back in. It's the coordination that has to go in. So the best way, if the feds were to explain it to you in a way that you could understand, like they would liken it to a hoarding situation where they have multiple teams and it has to be choreographed because they have a limited amount of time in order to do it. Also, this is not unusual that they'll see this with a senior citizen who hoards a lot and may have damaged or limited mental health capacities. So that's another way that the feds are looking at it. It has to be choreographed in the exact same way in multiple locations. Defendant's mental health questionable. There's something here also about Trump not being able to stay at those properties while police are in the properties. If he wants to go back to the property in Jersey and oversee them when they're grabbing all of his computer stuff, that's great. He can stand there, but this guy can't move back into certain areas. That's what they're trying to explain here. He's basically out. There's a move here coming for Trump. He's out of the house. We could see him potentially being forced out of these areas while all of this stuff is being gathered. There's a lot of good information coming out right now about this. The feds would like to seize his electronics and also some of his financial sources. Does anybody want to talk about that? I'm shocked. Even I didn't expect that. So what the feds are saying here is that some of his financial transactions, they're going to freeze them. So he has money coming in from questionable sources or dark money, and the feds would like to seize those accounts. That is some new information, and that's surprising to me. You guys like to see what that looks like. Over the issue of the raid, who was giving him money. He's in trouble. This guy's in so much damn trouble. These cards blow my mind. Has to be moved. I think he's going to stay with Eric. That's why Eric was there today. He has to be released to somebody else. That's why it's following the trajectory that we had expected, which is why Eric was in court with him today. For whatever reason, he can't be released back. So for whatever reason, he's released back to Eric. He's denied the right to travel, and they oversee him. And part of it's because of the defendant's age. There's nothing here that, he's lost his home. He has to move. Discussion? Anybody surprised by that? No. No, Dr. Whimsy. Oh, hi, Linda. Congratulations, by the way, Linda. Evidently, she had an amazing get together. Guys all went and saw UFOs. I don't know. Those things scare me. See, I figure if an advanced alien species is like out flying around and kidnapping people, I would not be out looking. I would just be like, go do what you got to go do. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But I must confess, I don't think the aliens are all that smart. I mean, if you need genetic material, bozo, why not just raid a fertility clinic? Why are you kidnapping these people and traumatizing them? They're all over the country. Just plenty of eggs and sperm, if that's what you're looking for. That's why the abduction thing never makes sense to me. Just go to a clinic. Am I missing something? I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Linda. Good to see you. It's blackmail the USA. Yes, also people talking about not just the debts, but the fact that he is putting people who could be in the field, people who are veiled agents in jeopardy, because they're going to look at this information. It may either release the name of the agent or it may not, but it certainly lets whoever know what the U.S. knows, and they can deduce who may be an agent and who may not be an agent. Oh, they're looking for specific DNA? Yeah, but can't you just go into a sperm bank and you're an alien? Just go. I mean, they've got thousands and thousands of eggs. Have as much you help yourself, like go and raid the refrigerator. Uh, you know, um, all right. That's the thing I don't get. All right, Mar-a-Lago seized. I think so, Joel, but we'll look specifically at Mar-a-Lago. Well, I RV'd one of the Tic Tacs, and it turned out that it was a drone. It was a drone with a computer mother drawer. What was it? It had a motherboard, a computer motherboard, and it was made of a substance that looked like rubber, so that it could be collapsible rather than metal, and also water safe, watertight. And so it collapses like that and then seals the motherboard and everything, and then it can go underwater. And that's the aquatic drones that they're developing. I couldn't see which country. Some people have argued that it's China, but that's amazing. And when you think about it, not particularly hard to do. So that's what I saw. The one that I looked at was a drone. Okay, the Mar-a-Lago seizure. Yes, Mar-a-Lago will be seized. They also they're seizing phone records out of Mar-a-Lago because of communications that took place, phone communications and phone records out of Mar-a-Lago. But the area is pretty much cornered off. You can't just very quickly. You're not going to be able to come and go from Mar-a-Lago because the cops have to go in. You can see here seizure and closure of property. They're interested in surveillance or communications. So the NSA was picking up calls out of that property. That's basically what the remote viewing is looking like. So the NSA gets code words and certain persons of interest, foreign calls, etc., coming in that they're fielding all the time. And there were a series of calls that they were fielding that were coming in and out of Mar-a-Lago. That's another reason that will trigger the raid. Communications, lovers. Possibly with the other side, right? Lovers has the dark aspect. Every card has a dark aspect. What's the dark aspect of the lovers? Cheating, infidelity, right? Somebody was cheating, chatting, off with somebody else, led to a seizure or control of the space. The people who own the space, or what is going on from this perspective of the other in this situation. So one of the things we've seen when we go into Mar-a-Lago is that the main investors are hidden investors. You've got like 5 investors. That's the dark money that bailed Trump out. So you've got dark money in Mar-a-Lago that want this nudnik out of there, right? So you have the energy of the 9 of Swords. This is bad news. Seizure of property, restricted fears, communications with the enemy, a judgment comes down. So the cards are really cool today. When they go in, they will find a treasure trove of evidence. Ultimately, the second phase of charges will be that the second phase of charges against Donald Trump that are coming down with the second raid are based on evidence that was obtained about who he gave the information to. That's what they're saying. First is that he took it. The second part is the evidence that they're building about who saw it, who had access to it, and who he gave the information to. So they sealed off the area, and they found the the treasure trove that ever overflows, right? The Empress, dripping with what? Evidence, stuff, contraband. So, intercepted end of communications, betrayal, cheating. Look here again, loss of property, loss of the home, out in the cold, stressed out, locked out of the church. This guy's lost Mar-a-Lago. Final outcome, a judgment because he gave evidence to. Six of Pentacles, handing over the jewels. He's so screwed. It makes complete sense to me because, thank you. It makes complete sense to me because, of course, they can't end the investigation. I'm surprised, when you look at the records, how could it be any other way? How could it be any other way? Of course, the investigation has to continue. Of course, they have to get another search warrant. But this search warrant is less limited than the last one. Still, when you go into those records, you can't just hang out at someone's property for 10 years with a search warrant based on what it looked like. You have a limited amount of time. You have to coordinate with the judge based on what we could figure out there. Maybe you have 72 hours. Maybe you have 48 hours. So I would say that not only are they going in, but probably how they're going in to be as effective as possible. They don't want to have to go in a second time or go back to the judge and say, sorry, we missed something. Can you believe the stuff we're finding out? Can you believe this? I love it. That's why I love my job. Isn't it awesome? Oh, did they seize another yacht? That's another thing that Robert Mueller told us, that they were meeting in, what was the thing when we did a meditation on Robert Mueller, that they were meeting in independent waters. They were trying to avoid surveillance. So Justice Thomas was in international waters. Oh, we went there all the time for our vacation on a private yacht. What was that guy's name? And they docked in a remote area off the coast of Indonesia in international waters for a week of fun and what? Discussing the docket, of course. You got a case coming up, don't you? You've got that Enron case. You got that such case coming on. So what do? Whoever's in trouble or whoever has something they need, you're meeting in international waters. The feds can't get there, remember? Guy Wengao, they took his yacht too. They took the yacht and he blew up his apartment. Surprised? No, you're not surprised. You're disgusted. Do you think that the average American, here's another one to throw out to people. Do you think the average American gets just how serious it is what has been discovered about Clarence Thomas? Do you think the average American gets the horror of what we're talking about? It's not just friends getting together every year. Right? So that's what we're dealing with. Just checking my notes that I got to everything. Okay. It's all the same thing, though, isn't it? Isn't it all the same thing? Whether it's Clarence Thomas in remote waters or one guy on his yacht or somebody else, the bottom line is that it goes back to the remote, right? When we had meditated on John Adams, unbridled power is the thing we feared the most. Right. So it goes back to that whole idea of our Constitution means nothing because the kings are deciding, the people with unlimited power. And so there goes your democracy. Oh, it's already past 6. All right. Did everybody have fun? Did y'all have a good time? Yeah, I know. I know, Nancy. I think we did great. I think we did great, everybody. Thank you so much for your love, support, and patience with me getting on late today. If you're trying to get in for a reading, please check out the information from Booksy below. Thank you, Dave Tunn, Aggravated Progressive. Oops. Debbie M. My Michelle, Marvel Johnson, Geocosmic Valentine. Well, we can't fight for our democracy until we get clear about what the threat is. And so, oh, hi, Cartomancy Mesquite. Good to see you here. Thank you, Debbie Brady, for your help today. So okay, before we close, we gotta end on an optimistic. We gotta end optimistic. How many of you think we're gonna save our democracy, or are you thinking it's too late? It's too late. Is it too late for our democracy? What do you think? I don't think it's too late. I think that as long as we keep calling out the problem, that's always going to be great for democracy. I believe in the Midas touch, man. I think that they got it right. It's not about left. It's not about right. It's about we have to fervently fight to protect this democracy. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. And we'll see you next one. Hi, my Michelle. Good to see you. Hi, Lisa R. Always great to see you. Hi, Sam Nomad.